yeah. Okay. Well, right off the bat, I wanted you to reach into my pocket, Michael, if you will.
Oh, I'm scared.
Go on.
Is it gonna hurt my hand?
No, it won't bite. It won't bite.
Oh,
This
it's like
is
a Hendrix.
the third album I ever bought.
Yes, well done. What an album.
Boxes and the clowns have all gone to bed.
Now tell me, what appeals to you so greatly about Hendrix? Stupid question, I know, but
No, not stupid at all. Like, I don't know, it's like the feeling of the music. Like, most of the music that I like or kind of get drawn to is through the way it makes me feel, I guess. Hendrix makes me feel really like, it's just so creative and colourful. Just like otherworldly. And my favourite song when I first heard this was actually Wind Cries Mary, which is probably why I have that introspective, reflective mood in a lot of my songs. I kind of like that. It just sounded just like out of this world, man.
Somewhere a queen is weeping. Somewhere a king has no wife.
an interesting little tie between yourself and him would be that you both kind of started out being sideline guitarists for other people. I mean, how did you get involved in being a session musician? How did you get involved in that?
Just like, I just got involved basically, started off playing in bands at school, and then that wasn't enough, I wanted to do more gigs, so I started going to jam sessions, playing guitar, meeting, and then getting numbers of other musicians, playing gigs with my own bands, and trying to play well so that maybe I could meet the headline band's bass player who had booked gigs, and kind of like that really, and just basically walked around everywhere with a guitar, just trying to get gigs and hung out.
Some of the sessions you played on, if Wikipedia is to be believed, Chipmunk Bashy, is that right?
Yeah.
How do you work what you do into a session for Chipmunk, for example?
Well, at the time I wasn't writing that many songs then, but I just basically did what they asked me to do and just tried to play as best I could. I didn't really have much of an identity when I was playing that music so much. I mean, my guitar playing was kind of there, but it was like, you know, it wasn't, the win for me for that was that I was doing music, but it wasn't necessarily the music I wanted to make.
What do you think you learned from that? I mean, obviously there would have been a case of trying to serve the song, right?
Yeah, like serving the song, trying to do good gigs if you had a gig or a show, what it's like to be on stage, what it's like to be inside the studio, working with other people, like, you know, even when you get to speak to the artist, like what it's like to be like a singer or the front man or an MC in their case. So I learned quite a lot.
I so prefer if you left me alone, cause I can't take the pain and now my heartbeat feels like an 808.
Let me ask you, in regards to singing, when do you feel like you found your own voice?
Home again, home again.
Pretty much, I think I found it, my voice, whilst doing like open mic nights and little gigs around London in pubs and stuff, and then in the studio with Paul and working on this record, and even still finding it now, like going on the road now, as I'm still discovering things. But probably like in the last 2 years when I was just kind of gigging around, when I decided to take the singing and the songwriting seriously.
Many times I've been told all this talk will make you old, so I'll close my eyes, look behind, moving on.
What I hold in my hands is the last ever published issue of AU magazine, which is brilliant. This is. I would say, and not that I wrote for them, Earth, but I would say that they were certainly the best print publication in Irish music. And when I read this, something I found very interesting in your article was talking about exploring the phrasing of singers, which I thought was brilliant. Like, what other techniques would you have done to kind of develop your voice?
Yeah, so singing from like the gut really, so that it comes out full, was something I wanted to do. Like, I noticed that it was quite powerful the way these singers sang. So I'd always try and sing from like my belly, and like I used to practice that and record it on my MacBook and listen to it. If it was strong, I would like, oh, that's a good note. And if it was like weak and wobbly, I was like, oh, there's something wrong with that. So I found my range through that. That was one way, and yeah, like pulling and pushing like the words back and forth. So like I like singing things kind of like lazily, behind the beat, because all those singers seem to do that. So I used to practice that and stuff. Yeah, it's cool, man.
So I close my eyes, look behind, moving on.
So I want to ask you as well about, well, you mentioned it with regards to Hendrix, the kind of warmth, and something that struck me about Home Again is the intimacy of it, which is something very much lost, I feel, in modern records. Was that something you were searching for, that intimacy?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my, I didn't know what it means to believe.
Yeah, like these albums I listened to, and it had that quality to it, and I was like determined that I could try and at least my best to try and get anything near that, because that's what I loved about albums and music, and it's something that's really important to me.
Would you take care of all that I do?
The lyrics, I mean, a song like Getting Ready, what inspired that?
Well, getting through, you know, music to me like has a strong connection with spirituality too, and like you can't see music and you can't see like a spirit really, and you know, not everyone believes in spirits, but I do, just because again, like music, like I was mentioning with Hendrix, was that the thing that gets me with music most of the time is how it feels. So you can't see it, but you can feel it, and I use it as to make me feel a certain way. So I was feeling pretty down and like things were like tough. So I was like, if you just get on and believe in yourself and things, or just have a bit of faith and stuff, you can actually get through those things. So that song was almost to make me feel that certain way, and I think that's why my music kind of has that kind of, you know, that edge or that thing to it in the sound of the music.
Well, something you said was, you know, great art is timeless and a great message is timeless, and that's running through a lot of the songs on this album.
Yeah, you know, like again, that used to excite me as a boy, discovering what music could do. Like, so you get into bands and you think this is cool, playing in a band and you're playing guitar and it's a cool thing, and then you discover that music can go even beyond that too. It's like it's also a place to say things. So like a lot of Dylan records, and then documentaries on TV, and listen to musicians, and like from Curtis Mayfield to like Marvin Gaye, what's going on, and all these. You learn so much about the world through like a song. That like kind of blew my mind.
Oh Lord, I'm not getting ready to believe.
And I thought, man, you know, music really seems to be a way to like say stuff. You can just learn stuff about it. We've been listening to like backstage before we go on this live Curtis Mayfield album, and it's just like insane. Like it's quite rare. It's just called Curtis Mayfield Live, but I can't find it. But the bass player managed to get it off eBay on vinyl. We've got this little portable vinyl player, and I just we listened to it last night before a gig, and it's just every song like We're a Winner. It's like obviously at the time there was that kind of the black people having a hard time, and it was just this thing that just uplifts you, but at the same time it's a great groove, great voice, and it just marries all those things, and that's really what struck me about music, and that's really what put the nail on the head for me.
We're a winner, and never let anybody say, boy, you can't make it, 'cause some people mind is in your way. No more tears do we cry, and we have finally dried our eyes. We're moving on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up now. We're moving on up. We're living proof in all's alert that we're two from the good black girl, and we're a winner, and everybody knows it too. We just keep on pushing, like your leaders tell you to. At last that blessed day has come, and I don't care where you come from. We're all moving on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up now, moving on up. Moving on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up now. We're moving on up. I don't mind leaving here to show the world we have no fear. cause we're a winner. And everybody knows it too. We just keep on pushing, like your leaders tell you to. At last that blessed day has come, and I don't care where you come from. We're just gonna move on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up. We're moving on up. You know, you may remember reading in your Jet Johnson publications, a whole lot of stations didn't want to play that particular recording, We're a Winner. Can you imagine such a thing? Well, I would say the way I'm sure most of you would say, we don't give a damn, we're a winner anyway. Right on? Yeah, I got a little strength out there tonight. Putting fire under us. Out of sight. It's all right now. We have just another version that we'd like to lay to you about here. Believing very strongly in the equality and freedom for all, and especially we people who are darker than blue. We'd like to just lay another version to you. Trying not to offend anyone, but basically telling it like it is. We're a winner, and never let anybody say, boy, you can't make it, cause a feeble man is in your way. No more tears do we cry. The black boy done dried his eyes, and they're moving on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up now, moving on up. There'll be no more Uncle Tom. At last that blessed day has come, and we're a winner, and everybody knows it too. We just keep on pushing, like Martin Luther told you to. And I don't mind leaving here to show the world we have no fear, cause we're moving on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up, we're moving on up. So people get ready, I've got good news for you. How we got over, like we're all supposed to do. Let us all say amen, and together we'll clap our hands, cause we're moving on up, moving on up. Lord have mercy, we're moving on up now, moving on up. Continue to be a winner, all of you.
Hi, this is Michael Kiwanuka, and you're listening to Two States on RTE 2XM. And even the same with just simple like love songs, it's the same thing. Like if you really mean it, it's still quite a strong message. So for me, music and those things marry so well that it's quite important. It's important to me.
With regards to the live thing, it's very much a case of being able to kind of not necessarily wig out, but certainly the songs are becoming a bit more muscular and stretching out.
Yeah, some of them are, and some aren't, but some are. Just getting more into like groove and rhythm, exploring those things. I love that. And that's probably from my music playing days and guitar playing days, really. I was really into that kind of groove and thing, so I'm trying to like, when we can, showcase some of that. We definitely spent a lot of time on that in the studio for ages as well, so I thought it would be nice live.
Yeah. And obviously you've been touring around the world. How are you dealing with it? You seem quite a relaxed guy, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty chilled. I mean, I'm loving it, man. I'm not gonna lie. I love traveling. Like, I love doing gigs, meeting new people, seeing new bands, like finding weird record shops and guitar shops, and going out after gigs and finding quirky bars and like clubs and stuff, and just hanging out. Like that's just like a dream, man. So I'm loving it. It can get busy, but I mean, there's a lot more serious stuff to moan about than that. So I do moan. I mean, I'm human, but I try to keep it as minimal as possible.
Yeah. No, but I mean, there's no burnout. You got the stamina for it, evidently.
Yeah, I think I do, man. I mean, I'm up for it, and like I'm still trying to write music, and looking forward to hitting some studio time in July, and like working on new ideas, and I'm really enjoying live still. So hopefully that keeps going. I mean, I don't know. I'm still fairly new to it, but I hope it keeps going.
Cool. So are you able to write on the road? There's some people that can't whatsoever for some reason. They find they get like a mental block when they're touring. Is that not the case for you?
No, it kind of like helps. If I'm stuck in one place, my imagination decreases. But when I'm kind of out and about, it kind of increases. So I'm always like listening to stuff or jamming stuff out in sound check. And in the hotel room in the mornings, if I've got like a line, I'll get the guitar acoustic out and record something on my phone or my laptop. So so far it seems to be right. I don't know if they'll be any good, these songs, but we'll see.
Well, tell us about the last song you wrote.
The last song I wrote, which I just finished, which I'm into, is a nice little song, man. Like I've been listening to this guy loads. Yeah. So I'm going to experiment with a bit more with the guitar, but it's like an open kind of song. Still kind of introspective in a way, but a nice groove to it and melody. I can't really explain more than that, really. I don't know how to explain it unless you hear it, but...
What's it called? Provisional title?
I haven't really got one. I think it's called If You Dare, If You Would Dare. I think that's what it would be called. I like that song.
Well, let me ask you, if maybe I'm reading too much into that title, but what would your advice be to any young musicians then?
Oh, yeah. My advice would be just to be yourself as much as you can, and don't get too like swayed by stuff that's going on around you, because that can be easy to do that with the internet and Twitter and stuff, which is really helpful, but you can just be on it like, oh man, he's doing that. Actually, to be like yourself is the best way, and like you never need to try to be unique. You just need to be yourself. Everyone's different, so you will be. So I'll say that's the best.
Michael, thanks very much, man.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, it's Wayne from the band The Flaming Lips.
Hi, I'm Bryce from The National.
Hi, I'm Dan Lassac.
And I'm Scroobius Pip.
What's up? I'm Derek.
I'm Alexis, and we're Sleigh Bells.
And we're Two Door Cinema Club.
Sitting here with the Danny Boy.
Hello, I'm John Cooper Clarke.
I'm Bernard Sumner.
Hey, this is Tim.
And I'm Mark.
And we're from Ash.
And you're listening to Two States.
Two States.
Two States with Danny Carroll.